All right, welcome into another edition of Catching Up with Tommy Mac podcast here on 1010XL's podcast platform at 1010XL.com. Of course, on their Facebook page. Hello, Facebook. And streaming on the Relevant app, the group messaging app with pop-up chat rooms. Check it out, man. It's growing like crazy. Mike Tyson officially announced he did it on the Joe Rogan show. If you haven't seen it, but Mike Tyson is going to be contributing to the app. Doing some different shows on his different channels, Fight Channel and others. Also, the QB Hour with Sean Salisbury starts tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and that's on the Sean Salisbury channel, so check that out. But a lot to get into today. I did start it off on Relevant as we were waiting to get started here. Some news and notes out there. Unfortunate seeing Damien Wilson getting arrested. I didn't know that he had been in trouble before, too. Kind of odd. Like, I thought he was just a quiet kind of guy that loved playing football. I mean, you didn't hear a peep out of him, did you? I mean, other than watching him play, he played great for the Jags. I thought they would have brought him back. Of course, they didn't. Whole new inside backers, which we'll get into. But he was arrested in Texas. His ex-girlfriend says he's threatened to kill her. And had all these comments. The agents denies the allegation. So, look, we'll wait and see what happens. In 2017, he was arrested for brandishing a rifle and threatening tailgaters outside a soccer venue. Yeah, that's odd. I know. Very strange. But
how is that something that, like, none of us had
nobody talked about? Yeah, I know.
Seems like a pretty big deal, right?
I guess, yeah.
I mean,
you know.
Because, I mean, if...
Hey,
like,
you better vote for my team.
Right.
What? Take those jerseys off.
I mean, like...
Who are you threatening at a tailgate?
Like a year ago, not even a year, just like while he was here, if we were talking about Damien Wilson and, you know, somebody said, yeah, you know, he's had off-the-field issues, I'd be like, you're making that up.
Right.
What are you talking about?
I know. He was like just quiet as a mouse while he was...
Yeah, he just showed
played
up,
ball.
Played ball. That was
played
it.
a great year, too.
Yeah.
Well, you never know. Listen, we'll let that one play out. But I was shocked to see that story. I was shocked to see it. I would not have imagined any of that. But whatever. We'll see how that all shakes down. Malcolm Butler back to the Pats. You know what his message is? Don't burn your bridges down. Yeah, I agree. In life, in football, whatever. Don't burn them down, man. You never know when you may be back. And he is back with the New England Patriots. So good for him. I just like the message. That's why I brought it up. Got all types of news and notes. How about Denzel Ward, $100 million man? Jalen Ramsey says, hey, welcome to the club. $71.5 million guaranteed for the DB corner, shutdown corner for the Cleveland Browns. He's young, too. I mean, wicked young, like 24 young. That's awesome. $71.5 million. Beautiful. He's a player now. He's a player. Going to be interesting what happens with that whole Cleveland thing. You know, everything with Watson, with Mayfield. Now they're saying Carolina's involved with Mayfield, Seattle, all this stuff. I mean, the mock drafts are going cuckoo. Of, you know, they taking Malik Willis. Are they taking the kid out of Pitt? Carolina with that 6th pick. I've seen Charles Cross at number 6, the tackle out of Mississippi State. We'll talk about that.
They might be one of the most interesting teams in the draft because they're in desperate need of a quarterback, first of all.
Yep.
I mean, unless you believe Sam Darnold is the guy, which I don't know that anybody does except Sam Darnold. Well, if they bring in
Baker, that sets a little different.
Well, right.
Yeah.
So the thing is, though, you're going to have to trade for Baker to get him, right?
Yeah.
They have that 6th pick.
Yeah.
Because of the trade with us, another trade, they got nothing until like the 4th round.
Right.
They're barren, man. Like they literally have that one pick.
Mayfield with giving that up. I know.
Right.
I don't know if I would. I'd probably go with the kid.
Right. Exactly.
Malik Willis and say, hey, he's got he's younger. He's got maybe more upside. He's got all the physical tools you want. Kid can move. He can whip it.
And if
good arm.
If you believe that you need to upgrade at quarterback, if you're Carolina,
you
almost have no choice but to take a quarterback at 6 because What are you going to do? Take it with your second round pick? You don't have one.
You don't have
third round pick? You don't have one.
No, right.
You know?
No doubt.
There is no getting Desmond Ridder later. There's none of that.
No, you're right. You're right. They're in a quandary there. I don't know. Look, it's not Darnold, obviously, but you're gonna have to take a chance if you do that. I'll tell you who's growing on me. Well, before I get into that, I want to address something. I keep hearing national pundits talking about Jaguars taking a safety. Like we need safety help. I don't feel like we need safety help. I think our safeties are good. Now, if Kyle Hamilton's rated number 1 on your board and you take him, which would be a total, like, talk about a shockwave if you went Kyle Hamilton number 1. But hypothetically, okay. But other than that, I don't know. I like Cisco. I like Thomas. I like Jenkins. You know, doesn't mean you're not Winger to back him up. Doesn't mean you're not going to maybe address it in the draft, you know, at that position, get some more speed. But I think we're okay there. And I think our overall DB room is strong. I do. You know, with with Darius right out of the Rams. I think Campbell's going to be a player, man. I tell you, he improved throughout the year. And just remember this about Campbell. You never saw him get toasted. You know what I mean? He was normally on his coverage. He just wasn't making plays on the ball. It wasn't like, you know, he was getting burnt, shook out of his shoes, can't catch up. He always seemed to be right there. He just never really, until later on, he started making plays on the ball. They're going to have to work on that, and so is he, but so is Griffin. He's got to catch the rock too, but I think they're okay. I think their overall defensive back room is one of the stronger units on the team as we speak today.
I completely agree with that. And a lot of national guys have mocks of them taking a safety or a corner with like one of those high picks, and I agree with you. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
In the second round too, right? Yeah. The kids out of Georgia.
Yeah.
I've seen.
And you want to talk about people growing on you?
Yep.
Nobody grew on me last year more than Tyson Campbell.
Yeah.
If you heard me week 4, 5 talking about Tyson, I'd be like, this dude is barbecue chicken every week getting killed.
Yep.
And then by week 10, 11, 12, I was like, he's a pretty damn good player.
Yeah.
This guy can play.
Yeah. He got better.
I feel good about him.
Yeah. He's very athletic, very long, strong at the point of attack. That's what you want so you can bring some heat. Mike Caldwell, remember who he learned under. Just remember, Jimmy Johnson was one of them. Up in Philly, he would bring the house. You can only do that with press corner. You can only do it when they're up in their face. It's the only way to do it. So you got to jam them. Got to get a hand on them. If they get free and you're playing zone, they're going to be open every time when you bring the house. It's a tough way to make a living, but you get the right personnel, it can happen. So we'll see on that. I think our linebacker position, you know, we got to address it. It's going to be interesting with Quarterman. You know, back in 99, I think it was 99, both Brian Schwartz and I were coming back, and Andy Katzenmoyer out of Ohio State was this big name linebacker, like first round pick. And we picked later because we went to the second round in the AFC playoffs in 98, right? So we were like around 25, 26. And Katzenmoyer's sitting there. And I was like, oh, man, if he picks him, you know what I mean? And he went right by him. And later on, I heard he said, no, I'm comfortable with either McManus or Schwartz. I mean, but it said a lot, right? Like, because he could have just, this is the kid. Boom, he's my new middle linebacker. So for Shaq Quarterman, like guys like that, the draft is going to tell a lot. How do they address that position? Are you the guy now, or are you going to have a shot at being the guy? Depends where they draft. The lower they draft, the more equal shot you get. They draft a second rounder, third rounder, guess what? They're going to get the shot before you. It's just the way it works. But I like Shaq. I think he's a downhill guy. I think he could play my 3-4 Mike if I need him to, of course. You've added to the linebacker room, totally changed the linebacker room. So I think they're going to add to it. You're going to have to. No more Miles, of course. No more Damien Wilson. So So we'll see about that, but it's going to be an interesting position to look at. Wide receiver as well. You know, I've been thinking about this too. Like, here we are with top of the second round, top of the third round. If there is a receiver falling in either one of those rounds, I was looking at a mock. I don't know if he's going to be there, but like that Mechie kid out of Alabama, if that's the end of the second round and you can get up, you got to go get him, I think. First round, same you're there at 33. How can I get up to 25? You know what I mean? Or whatever I got to get one of these guys, one of these wide receivers. You know, I've seen that kid Olav from Ohio State fall, you know, hypothetical mock. But if he's sitting there like 27, 28, can you get to him? I'd be okay with that. I'll tell you what I'm really leaning on, or leaning towards. I just been watching a little bit more and doing a little bit more research, because I think that left tackle position is so critical. It's so, next to QB, it's the most critical position on your team. You got to protect your quarterback. You got to have a left tackle that you don't have to worry about. It's just needed. I don't want to chip. I don't want to bring a tight end. I don't want to bring an extra tackle. I want my tackle to handle their best, whoever that is, across from them. You know, you can name players throughout the league that fit that bill. But Ikem Ekwonu, he's just as long. Remember, I was talking about the length of Neal, how hard it is to get around him. He's 6'7.5". He's 340. These guys are athletic, by the way. And the tackle class is really strong, really strong. We're talking about a kid, I don't even know who he is. This Tyler Smith out of Tulsa, the sophomore, like a redshirt freshman sophomore. They say he has the most upside out of all the tackles in the class. And he's probably not going to go till second or third round, something like that. I mean, there's guys, the kid Charles Cross, some have him as high as 6. Trevor Penning, top 15. I mean, you may see 6, 7 tackles go, and they're all pretty much athletic. But I'm really liking Ikem. If they took him number 1, same arm length as Evan Neal, a little bit longer wingspan. I don't know if I care about the wingspan, but that length means something, right? The longer it takes for you to get around me, and I got speed. Just think, so don't look at my body, look at my hands if you can see it. That's where I'm keeping them, you know? That's a big distance away from my QB. You're not in me like this. Now you got me. I get you like that. Forget it. That's why that arm length is important. And he's very athletic. He's a former wrestler, which I love. He's mean. He's nasty. He buries people. He likes pancaking. And what I've noticed about him at least on, you know, it's more highlight than anything, film, but I just like seeing him move. When he pulls, he can really run. I mean, he can, and he doesn't look like he's 6'4", 310 or whatever he is. He looks like he looks so athletic. I mean, he really does. It's just the way he, you know, you can tell. It's funny. I've always been able to, you can tell by how people walk and especially how they run, how athletic they are. You can tell. You know what I mean? It's just the gait. You see their gait and you're like, okay. My brother has a young son. I watch him run on the beach. I'm like, dude, he's got a real natural, like, effortless gait. That's cool. He's only 9 or 10. No, he's 11. But still, I'm like, you can tell when people walk on their toes, the way they run, the way they just kind of move. You can tell if they've been an athlete in their life at some point in their life. You can tell when someone's and so is Neal. I mean, everyone's talking about that split jump, which is ridiculous. And he's athletic, but Ikem's more athletic. And they're just as long. The only thing difference is the height and weight. I don't know if you need 340. I don't know if I need 6'7.5", 340 to. And I don't think you go wrong with either one. And I'm leaning to. I'd rather have them than anybody else right now. And I've made that pretty clear. I'd rather go O-line. And I wish everyone else the best. Until we play you, but I want to solidify my offensive line. And if they went Ikem, he'd be a nasty guard for the first year. Nasty. Next to Cam. And then your scenario worked out perfect. Cam signs a 1-year deal. There's your future. These guys got to figure it out. I know everyone's wondering about Walker. Look, let's just, year 1 to year 2, we're going to see a big difference in these players. The rookies that were rookies last year. Every position, especially the ones that played, and got that taste, that feel of playing in a game and doing well in a game and playing well in a game, well within your offensive defensive scheme. The Ciscos, the Littles, Trevor, of course. You know what I mean? They should be breaming with confidence, and I'm sure they will be. And then look, Juwan Taylor's in a fight for his life out there. And if I'm Juwan, I'm open to playing guard if I have to. Now, I don't know if I grab Ekwonu. You know what I mean? Maybe Taylor beats out Little. Then you can go after Balky. He picked him. It's fair. He took a chance on him. Before the kid got hurt, he was a first-round graded left tackle after his freshman year at Stanford. Then he got hurt. Right? Yeah, he played his freshman, got hurt. And then the COVID.
Yeah, he got hurt and then took a year off. So he didn't play for 2 full seasons. He didn't play for 2
full seasons. So let's see what he can do. He's a monster of a human being. He's very flexible, and he's got good feet and hands. His big problem last year, which I think he got better, he wasn't delivering the shot. He was absorbing their shot, if that makes sense. And I don't care how big and strong you are. I don't care if you're 6'7", 340. If that guy's coming across from you full speed and he gets you like that, there's only one way you're going. That's back. Doesn't matter how big and strong you are if they get you like that. So he got better at that. Little did. He was punching. You got to punch, man. You got to whack him so damn. I know Dave Camper, you said off air, Graham, that he compares Ikem to a young Leon Searcy. Leon's punch would concave your chest if he hit you in real life. As back in his day, he would hurt something. He may stop your heart for a minute. I mean, it was vicious. Baselli, same deal. I mean, Tony had a ridiculous punch, and you got to have it. That's how you. It's like I've done it before. It's grizzly bears fighting. Go watch how they fight. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, that's what it is. It's just more inside. You're trying to get those hands down. I'm trying to get around you. And if you get my hands down, I'm trying to get them back up. I'm trying to move my feet so you can't get to my guy. It's if you ever watched one-on-one, you're at the Jag game or any other game, just watch for a while. I don't care which side, left or right. Pick a tackle and a player and just watch them go at it. It's fun. I mean, it's fun. I know a lot of people watch the ball. We all do, but you watch play after play after play after play, and you watch these two gigantic creatures trying to beat the crap out of each other. And it's almost like they're fist fighting. You know what I mean? It's like a brawl. They're getting after it. Their forearms must be crushed after games. Both sides, because I'm knocking yours, you're knocking mine. Oh, it's fast. Oh, to be at the top of the food chain. How much fun would that have been?
Well,
jeez.
Because when I played football in high school, I was a receiver.
Yeah.
And that's a position I care most about. So I'm a ball watcher when I watch games.
Most of us are.
The one dude that plays on the line in any game that is to me is box office is Aaron Donald.
Oh,
dude.
Totally. Yeah.
I mean,
you watch him work.
When I watch because when the Rams are playing, you got Jalen Ramsey, you got Von Miller, you got last year at least, you got all these dudes. Darius Williams last year. Yeah, exactly. I'm fixated.
Yep.
That's why like when the Jags played the Rams, poor Ben Barch. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, Donald does that to a lot of guys.
He does that to a lot of, It's not a slight on Ben Barch. He was just like, man, that must have been a rough day.
That's the best D tackle in the game right now.
Oh, and not even a question.
His strength, speed, his moves, counter moves.
Right.
He's got it all. And he's special. And that's the thing when if you're not you gotta be somewhat special if you're not the tallest like he isn't, or the biggest like he isn't. He's one of the strongest, I guarantee you that.
Are you talking about a workout warrior, dude?
Oh.
Shoo.
It's funny. And Hutchinson gets it a lot that, his motor, like you're giving him extra credit for the motor. That you don't get extra credit for the motor. You're supposed to have the motor. And I know not everybody has it, but that doesn't mean the guys that do get the extra credit. The standard is you just have it, not extra. You know what I mean? And the guys that don't have it, those are the ones you stay away from. You're like, well, he's not gonna bring it every time. I get it's so funny, and he's not, and a rookie's not changing the culture. He could add to it by following what the veterans do and what the coach wants him to do, while being his own person. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't changing this whole thing. Can he get to the quarterback in the NFL? If you draft him number 1, which look, again, you do it, I'm rooting for you. Rooting for the kid. He better have 10 sacks. He better. He's got to be special. I keep seeing he's a notch below elite. And that's tough for me to grab a guy number 1 that's just going to be very good. At the end of the day, it'll be fine, right? If he plays here 10 years and he's very good, what does that mean? I don't know. 6 sacks a year, really good against the run, doesn't get hurt, plays his ass off. Okay, we'll look back and be like, oh, he was a great pick. But number 1, I think, I don't know.
Number 1, I wouldn't say that's a great pick.
You got to have special.
Because what you just described.
This draft is so weird. It's like there's nobody that's that special. It's like, look, I may take Ekwonu, not even just Jags, but if I needed an O-lineman, I may take him and play him at guard. And people would be like, well, you're crazy to draft a guy number 1. I'm like, if he's my number 1 player on this board of not a really, it's a deep class in different positions. You got to give it that, like the tackles, receivers, right? Maybe the backers after the first, you know what? There is some depth to these classes, but there's nothing wowza about this class. Now, they may prove everybody wrong when they get to the NFL. Sauce Gardner might be unbelievable like he was in college. He could be. You know what I mean? Guys like that, the quarterback from Liberty, Malik, maybe he is. I don't know. Maybe he does come in right away and lights the world on fire. Wouldn't that be great? Yes. But who knows? So maybe they prove us wrong. But as you look at this draft, it's not like you're not salivating over anybody, are you?
Well, to me,
maybe the tackles.
I was about
salivate over them a little.
I was just about to say, if I'm salivating over anybody, it's Neal and Ekwonu.
I think so too.
And I got an offensive line question for you, because we always have these talks about drafting this guy and plugging him at guard for now, or moving this guy to guard, or keeping this guy at tackle, whatever. How much is there to the body build of someone switching from one to the other? Because like Walker Little is very tall, right? Evan Neal is very tall. These are 6'6", 6'7" dudes. Are you wasting their length if you put them at guard, as opposed to like an Ekwonu, who is, by what we've seen, just as athletic as Neal, but a little more stout and maybe a little more of a guard type body? Does that make sense? What I'm saying? Well,
Neal played some guard in college, so he did.
That's true.
He played guard. I always look at the lower part of their body, their ass down, their waist down. How
the
thick
butt,
is
the
that?
thighs, yeah.
So like I look at Cam.
Leon said the same exact thing.
I look at Cam. Cam's a big guy, but he's not,
that is
massive. I'm gonna move you out of the way type guard. You got to be built for that.
That's exactly what Cersei said.
Did he really?
Because a couple years ago there was a talk about switching Cam to guard. Remember that?
Yeah,
like 2 or 3 years ago.
No, he doesn't have enough in his ass. You got to have the ass to play guard.
Leon literally said he doesn't have the butt. He can't do it.
You got to have the ass. It's a lot of your power comes from that. Being able to move guys.
So the counter, like the opposite of that, is if Walker Little is as tall and long as he is, and if you drafted Neal and he's as tall and long as he is, don't you want to utilize that length? You can't utilize that as much as guard, right?
You're going to give Walker the shot at right tackle.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
You know what I mean? He's getting the shot. And look, I don't – maybe they just don't feel like he's ready for left tackle. You haven't heard anything about him being
super interesting.
Tackle,
yeah.
right? So, but he's going to get the shot at right, it seems. And he's got a big lower half. That guy's – his calves are bigger than my freaking arms. I mean, it's ridiculous. Way bigger. No, your arms aren't that big. That's probably stupid. I don't want to say as big as my thigh because then he would look kind of weird out there, but he's got big calves. He's big. He's a big guy. And, again, that's what I want on my old line, man. Look, if Trevor's the franchise, which he is, you protect the franchise at all costs, correct? And what's the best way to protect your franchise? With one guy or with one guy who needs help sometimes? Maybe okay with that, but what does that mean? That guy helping isn't going out for a pass. So he's not part of the weaponry on that particular down. I know what I want. I want a Baselli. Hey, by the way, I was looking at last year's draft. Everyone's like, I'm not. Rashawn Slater dropped to 12th. He's an unbelievable left tackle for the Chargers. I mean, he's him and Wirfs. Oh, and that's what I seen. I think I said that Wirfs, and then Ikem's being compared to Tristan Wirfs. So I take that all day. But that's what I'm going. I'm not on. Wish the kid nothing but the best. But the Trayvon Walker, I'm that he doesn't interest me anymore. I think, with the right team, he'll go. I need a specific kind of player if I'm going defense. I don't need him move. If I want him to be a D tackle, then I'm drafting him as a D tackle, which he's not. If I'm drafting him as a down on the floor D end, then I'm drafting him as such. If I'm looking at him to be a 3-4 outside backer, which, let's face it, that's the number one need on this team, opposite of Josh Allen. Agreed? Agree. I would think so. If you took just the defense, what's my number one need? It's that other guy outside of Josh, so I can get Josh back to his rookie year with 10.5 sacks, and this guy's coming with 10 sacks. It makes my job on the inside easier for my guys. If I'm going that, I want that. And who's the best out there? Out of the three. Thibodeau might be the most natural.
To me, it's Thibodeau.
Bend. Thibodeau. As a 3-4, just think about it. So you're thinking about like James Harrison, TJ Watt, Whitney Merciless, those kind of guys. Man, they get after the quarterback. That 3-4 outside back. Clay Matthews. Disrupting things all game long. That's what we need if you go defense. But for me, number one, get that QB protected. I gave him weapons this offseason. I'm going to try to get him a couple more, but I need to protect him. I've got to make sure that I have a left tackle that can stand there and take their best guy on play after play after play and win 95 to 99% of the time. Right now, you don't have it. I think that's fair. What do you think? Pretty fair guy overall.
I'd say so.
Yep. All right, I think I got it. I think I covered it all, man. Look at that. You got to take notes when you do this stuff. Sometimes, right? Sometimes I come in here. Last Friday I won it. Had a great anniversary, by the way. Thank you, David Mariotti, and your great staff at One Ocean, man. Awesome. And if you're from not around here and you want to get away, whether it's a weekend getaway with your significant other or family, whatever, that corner is rocking. Good times. Good times. Pete's was off the chain Friday night. God. I can only go in there once in a while. It's just crazy packed. So much fun. Saw a lot of people we knew in there, too. It was fun.
That was Lemon Bar.
Lemon Bar was cool. It was a little chilly.
I was going to say, Lemon Bar, you're relying on the weather. But if the weather's nice,
oh yeah,
one of the best places in town.
Oh, no
to be
doubt.
At.
And good food. They have good food there. They have good entertainment.
Lemon Bar doesn't have just like your regular run-of-the-mill bar food. They've got good food.
Oh, you're right.
Like legit. Their fish, dude.
Yeah. Oh,
Shoo.
the fish fingers.
Fantastic.
Best. Yeah, no doubt. Their wings are really good.
Absolutely.
Great wings. All right, man. We covered it all. Getting closer to the draft, man. It's going to be fun. It's going to be so much fun. I'm looking forward to it. I will be not here on Friday. Next 2 Fridays, I'm not here. Got to travel. Dance competition, 21st birthday celebration in Charleston. What's a dad to do? You know what I mean? What's a dad to do? You got to do it. So that's what I'm doing. But I'll be here Tuesday. I might do something while I'm up there. And I'll send it to you. We can flip it around.
Sounds like a plan, baby.
All right, my man. All right, that'll do it this time around right here on Catching Up with Tommy Mac on 1010XL's podcast platform at 1010XL.com. Of course, on their Facebook page and on the relevant app, the group messaging chat app with pop-up chat rooms. We have audio, video, interactive chat. So much content coming. Mike Tyson is coming on board, kicking it off tomorrow. QB Hour, Sean Salisbury tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Central. I'll be back on Duval Vibes on tonight with my man UCF Jaguar. That's on the Jaguars Fanatics page. And then In the Huddle with Sean Salisbury, Randy Cross, Glenn Parker, Ryan Sakamoto, and myself on the NFL Fanatics channel. So check it out. Free download, RELEVNT. No A at the end. We're on Google Play and at the Apple Store. It's the People's app. What does that mean? Everybody and anybody can join this app. You won't get canceled. You won't get kicked off as long as you're not doing anything that's way out of line. And what does that mean? Go read our policy. It's on the app. All right, that'll do it. Have a great day. Be safe. Stay cool. See you next time right here on Catching Up with Tommy Mac. Peace.